You start losing ball games with that Super Bowl roster in San Francisco. Hey, by the way, I was listening to WIP. A couple guys in Pittsburgh think that Jalen Hurts might be on a short leash. I listened to it. They were on with Angelo. I'm like, what? I hadn't thought of that angle. Welcome back. National Football Show. It's your boy Dick Sills. Please hit the like button. Thank you very much. So, Trey Lance is upset that the 49ers brought back Jimmy Garoppolo. I'd be too. Organization lied to him. Organization fed him a bunch of bullshit that wasn't true. You're great. Wonderful. Man, you look awesome in the exhibition season. Wow, you look so great. Holy cow, you're amazing. Think we need to bring Jimmy G back? Yeah. Yeah. Trey Lance knows he's on a short leash now. Because he also knows that Kyle Shanahan's 7-28 without Garoppolo as his starter. You start losing ball games with that Super Bowl roster in San Francisco. Hey, by the way, I was listening to WIP. A couple guys in Pittsburgh think that Jalen Hurts might be on a short leash. I listened to it. They were on with Angelo. I'm like, what? I hadn't thought of that angle. But you think John Lynch is going to waste a Super Bowl roster developing a quarterback when you know that that guy could get you at least to the NFC title game? Hey, let's fart around for 5 weeks? Be 500 and what? Develop a quarterback when you got a team that you know can hang right there with the Rams. I'm not doing that. That's why they brought him back. This ain't Sileo talking. Their actions speak louder than their words. I love you. You're the best. Oh, my God, you're so great. Now, well, let me turn that around on the Eagles. And again, some Pittsburgh guys I've never heard of. But they had a point. So you think this roster that your boy Howie Roseman has put together, they start limping around not getting the ball to A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert. You think they're going to go through the entire season just limping along, developing Jalen Hurts when they know they got a Super Bowl roster? I say it too. Really? Okay. I'm not the only one that thinks that. You got a top 5 tight end. You got a top 10 wideout. You got a kid who's on the horizon. You got the number 1 running attack. If your quarterback is not finding these guys, he ain't going to be in there long. Look at what they're doing at San Francisco. Same shit. They balked. And get this. They gave up 3 ones for the kid. 3 ones. They gave up a second rounder, albeit a big pick for Jalen Hurts. There's more pressure on Trey Lance. Trey Lance just can't get to the playoffs and win an opening round playoff game like Jalen can and call it a success. He's got to get to the Super Bowl and win it. Shit, Garoppolo got to the Super Bowl. He's been to 2 of the last 3 NFC title games. You got to one-up it. Hey, and by the way, I'm sick of this topic here. For this point, I don't give a shit about Jalen Hurts. I care the Eagles win the NFC. Whatever that looks like. Ask Nick Foles that. Do you care what that looked like when Wentz didn't go across the finish line? Or did you care when you were on Broad Street drinking beers with the fellas and they won the Super Bowl? Did you give a shit who the driver of the taxi cab was? No. Who cares who's driving? This is a team sport. This is about winning. It's not about one dude. This is about winning. Look at what the Niners are doing. They're doing the same shit that's going on in Philly. You're great. They're telling the kid everything he wants to hear. Jalen's smart enough to know that, though. 49ers don't believe it. And they went to the NFC title game last year. Oh, and they also beat the Eagles. I'm sick and tired. If Jalen Hurts ain't getting a job done, pull his ass. Why would you want to waste a roster like this? I heard Greg Cosell say it's one of the best. I've been saying it. I think it is the best roster in the NFC. And I'm going to sit around and wait all year? Not me. That's not what I would do. Okay? Eagle fan goes, you talk about that dude every day. That dude is the only way you go to the Super Bowl or don't. You think Hassan Reddick or A.J. Brown or any of these other guys on this team are going to carry your team to the Super Bowl? The reason you won in 17 is because Nick Foles played out of his freaking gourd. He got on a Eli Manning streak, and it was quite awesome to watch. So you don't think – so wait a minute. Hey, you know what? We've never really asked that. And by the way, I'm going to get to Gannon and the Lions here in a minute. So you think Howie's got a short leash or a long leash on Jalen Hurts this year? With the roster he built and all the things that he did to build that roster. No, it's funny, isn't it? No one in Philly asks him that. All he answers is, Jalen's our quarterback now. That's not what I asked you. It's a lawyer's answer. He went and got Kaiser White, Bradbury, CJ. Made a trade with the Saints to get a number 1 pick next year. You're going to waste that? Rich is probably short with the draft capital next year. Rich, exactly. I never thought about it, Rich. I thought they'd give him the full year. But after listening to those two dudes talk on WIP this morning, and them say that he goes, hey, you know, are you really going to waste that roster if that kid can't get them the ball? You got to think they would yank him. How close were they to yanking him last year? Okay. They were 2-5. Boy, Xander, man, parachute's a great question. And here comes another problem with the way the Eagles are operated. Xander goes like this. Are we sure the quarterback position is up to Howie? Man, you got a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Ton of cooks in the kitchen. Jesus, criminy. That decision should be up to one dude. Not the baker and the cleaner and the GM and the owner and the statistician. Skid says, hey, Sills, usually around this time I have a major case of swamp ass because of Howie. The biggest addition to the Eagles' chance of success is that Hurts has his OC for a second year since high school. Yeah, but But Skid, let me throw this at you. You're right. You're right. I was just talking about having stability on a football team, and that's always beneficial to having that. Absolutely true. But let me ask you this. Don't you think there were two different types of offenses last year? The first 7 games, Nick Sirianni called. Then after that, Steichen called, and they went to a running attack. Aren't those two different offenses? What offensive system are they going to run this year? This, in theory, could be the third system that he's had since he's been in Philly. Doug Peterson, the first start of the games last year, those first 7 games, and then the back end of the season last year. That sounds like, to me, 3 different approaches on how you went about winning games. Again, same voice. Coming back this year, I agree. I think that's a big deal. Okay, I do. 2-5, with 3 drop passes from Rager and company. It's a team, dude. Everyone knows that Laurie drafted him. That's a fact, not an opinion. Hurts already publicly said it was the same system they ran last year. How can it be? It's not the same system. They threw the ball at the beginning of the season last year, and they ran it 30 times. How can that be the same? It was not the same. Same play caller, same playbook, different pages in the playbook. If that's what you're saying, technically you're right. But they took those first 7 chapters out of the playbook going into the second half of the season. That's not how they won games. Jalen Hurts didn't win games throwing the ball. He won games running the ball. Okay? That's an interesting question. I wonder what kind of leash he has this year. If they start limping around and they start fumbling around out of the gate, even if they do this, don't make that Lions game close because the quarterback play is not good. You'll have questions coming out of this. Watch. Well, we ran the ball again. I'm suggesting you do that. Okay? And if Jalen's proficient, watch this. I'm going to make a promise to you guys on Monday, September 12th. If Jalen Hurts throws the ball he completes 15 of 18 for 153 yards with 2 touchdowns and runs the ball for 65 yards, and they win the game by 2 touchdowns, that's a great game to me. Because what you did was you played to the strength of your team against the weakness of your opponent. Read the art of war. That's what that is. Now, there's going to be games that you're going to have to throw the ball a ton of times to try to beat that team and outscore them, like, say, the Packers. Every week is a different chapter in the story of how you have to try to win ball games. Okay? Means you're going to kick in Sirianni's offensive. Let's see the kid play. I want to see him play. Hey, understand this. I want the kid to get every opportunity and every fair opportunity. And I will do this to you too. Bro, this guy's got everything set up in front of him. Okay? If this thing doesn't look completely different this year than it did last year, he ain't the guy. We're going to know immediately. I'm not saying first 4 quarters of the year. I'm not saying that, but you're going to know. You're going to know, and you'll see frustration on people's faces. Devontae Smith, he's a pro. He's not going to do it. But shit, you think that guy wants another 940-yard year? Give me a break. That's not who that guy is. That guy's a 1,500-yard guy. But he's a team guy. You got a guy over there on the other side of A.J. Brown who's a 1,500-yard guy. That dude better get over near that, or he's going to start doing this, or at least his agent will. God, man. Who's the weakest link on the offense? Be honest with yourselves. John, I don't think Jalen's the biggest weakness if they play him right. If they play him right, like I said in the previous segment, coach's strengths. Coach's strengths, smart. Okay? Got to work on that pocket presence. He doesn't have very good pocket presence. Even Greg Cosell agreed with me. He does not. He takes off running too soon. You know why? That's progression reading. He breaks the play down. He doesn't stay in the scheme. So that's why Steichen and Sirianni have to come up with this playground stuff for him to play in that kind of system. They've kind of opened more guardrails. He doesn't play in a structured passing game. And if you think that, you're nuts. Even an expert who was on with the fellas today said that. He doesn't play in a structured offensive passing game because that's not who he is. That's not me saying that. That's another show with another expert. I'm sure we'll have that interview posted at JAKIB. Okay? I'm sure of it. Go watch it. Go watch it. He said the same thing I've been saying for months. Miles is a weak link. Better not be. He better not be. Mar says, but let's not act like he can't improve. Well, let's not act like he has improved. I don't see the improvement. There wasn't enough practice time. There was no exhibition games. Where did you see improvement? What, because some guy was posting stats? Where did you see that? Now, I like the Jet series. I thought he was great. I thought he was really good in that. It was really proficiently done. But the Jets. I saw Gardner Minshew crush that team last year. Hurts is not a top 15. Bro, he doesn't have to be top 15. He just has to be proficient in winning ball games. Relationship with the wide receivers has got to get better. Cody, just because Jalen Hurts is friends with A.J. Brown doesn't mean they're on the same wavelength in the passing game. Just because we're boys has nothing to do with talent. Because we grew up together doesn't mean that I can read a defense. Has nothing to do with that. I don't know how anybody, well, they've known each other for a long time. They're really good friends. Great. Wonderful. Sounds like a really good get-together in the offseason. That's right, Chalk It Up Sports. That's the key one right there. No one can definitely say Hurts has improved. Hey, chalk it up. I'm expecting him to have improved when we watch him in the Lions game. So I'm not being Debbie Downer on that. I am expecting him to be better. Now, I just want to see what better looks like. Why can't I have that? I just want to see what better looks like. I don't know what better is when it comes to him. It's a different style. They're going to coach him differently. He's not a traditional passer in the game. He's not very good as pocket presence. Okay? But he wins. Let's see what that version of winning looks like. Is that fair? Easy Money says, I don't think the quarterback is the weakness. I think the quarterback is still getting better. Okay? Eagles fan, this fan base's patience is trash. Hey, give him a chance to breathe here. Okay? Give him a chance to breathe. Bryce Young to Philly. He's a special player. Hey, that was real. I loved it too, man. I was just telling Xander prior to coming on the air. I posted that some of these quarterbacks are making more than Jalen, and I was just having some fun. You don't know the rules. And I'm like, I wasn't really meaning it in a rules way. But I love it, man. Thank you for checking out my Twitter over the holidays. I really appreciate it. I could tell that you guys have really not a lot to do. Anthony says this. The QB is improving. The $1 million question is how much until he hits the ceiling. You know what, Anthony? I just want to see what better looks like. Okay? I just want to see what better looks like. Seals, you never say the Rams. It's always Brady or Rodgers. Your football team is going to be right there. The Rams, your team is going to be right there. You have the best cover corner. You have the best production wideout. You notice I said production, not the most gifted, but the most production wideout. You have a quarterback that can throw the ball around the yard. And what I loved about Stafford's development, even late in his career, LA Rams, what you loved, when Odell Beckham goes down in that Super Bowl and you guys are down, he had to come up with ways on readjusting because Beckham was playing so well in the first half of that game. And they did. They found ways to get the ball in the other hands of players. And Stafford, that to me was without question the best football game that he thoroughly thought through. It was so well done and such a professional job of playing the position. Kudos to him. For a guy that's been under 500 the majority of his career and has taken shots the majority of his career, that was the best thinking ball game he's ever had. It was really well done. And McVay played into that. So good, man. So good. Okay. Lucia says play calling is our offensive weakness. See, I still think they're trying to figure out the show. I still think they're trying to figure out how to coach Jalen too. Okay? And, I think the organization, I don't know if you guys agree or not, but I think the organization did this. That's why the play calling went to Steichen. And Sirianni went to more keeping an eye. Hey, by the way, I don't know what they're going to do on special teams. That's going to be a factor. That's going to be a factor on their special teams. Man, I got to hit on Gannon and the Lions yet, okay? I totally do, man. You guys are spectacular. Hey, don't forget Gary Cobb from Fox 29. And we'll see what he says. This has got to be kind of an interesting game for Gary. Gary played, I think, 11 years in Detroit. Okay, and of course he finished up his career with the Eagles. But, yeah, Gary, both his teams are playing in the opener at Ford Field week 1. I can't wait to hear that. Okay. I appreciate everybody coming aboard. Please hit the like button. Hour number 2, National Football Show. Keep it right here.